How you doing, guys, and welcome to my movie review on Thor Love and Thunder, the latest Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie starring Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Taika Waititi, who's also a director of this film, Russell Crowe as Zeus with Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, and Natalie Portman reprising her role as Dr. Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. So, story in this movie, after Avengers Endgame, Thor enjoying his retirement with the Guardians of the Galaxy crew. Here's a distress signal regarding Gore the God Butcher, who seeks to extinct all gods, and Thor has to enlist Valkyrie, Korg, and his ex-girlfriend Jane to embark on a harrowing cosmic adventure to uncover the mysteries of Gore the God Butcher's vengeance and stop him before it is too late. So my general thoughts on this movie: this is a pretty good action blast, entertaining Marvel movie to enjoy. Good music throughout. It's very energetic, fun. Duration of this movie is perfect. Doesn't feel long at all. It doesn't feel slow at all. It's perfect duration, 2 hour movie to enjoy. And this brought somewhat of a Thor Ragnarok vibe to it. Although this film tried to surpass Thor Ragnarok by any means necessary, but it doesn't surpass Thor Ragnarok. By far, Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie of all. But as its own individual movie, Thor Love and Thunder is a pretty good, entertaining movie to enjoy. And some of the quick takeaways from this movie, like Korg, I love Korg, his character. He's so funny, like he's humorous. On this movie, he did a narration, which makes it like kind of great to listen. Like the story, him mispronouncing Jane's name, I thought was pretty humorous and funny. It's very laughable as well. So Korg doing some of the narration in this film, I thought was a very good pickup. And Thor finally is back in shape after seeing him in Avengers Endgame, him being fat slob, lazy, just an obese guy, out of shape. Now he's back in shape, and I love his character in this one because he's trying to figure out his purpose as he's going through a midlife crisis. He's trying to figure out who he is and why he is or should he be as a hero. I like his searching for his true identity, his life, like his true meaning as a hero and all this stuff. So I love Thor overall, back in shape, and search for his true personality. Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson, she's a new king of New Asgard. I like her as a leader. Like, she's very standout and very athletic. I love her fighting skill. She's very good. Couple disappointing parts in this movie is that the Guardians of the Galaxy appearance, basically they were like a 10-minute cameo appearance. They had nothing to do with Thor's journey, fight against Gore the God Butcher. They had nothing to do with it. So basically they were like, after first 10 minutes, Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy was like, hey, they pay their respect and say they're part of the way. That's about it. And Zeus's appearance, played by Russell Crowe, I thought when I heard Russell Crowe was casted for this movie, it's like, oh, he's gonna be have an important role in this movie. Well, it turned out to be he was total phony. He was like a kind of a wreck. I thought it was pretty embarrassing. He was kind of embarrassing, to say the least. Although the lightning bolt, the weapon he had, that was a big role come in this movie that Valkyrie, Thor, and the gang recover. That turned out to be a big key in this movie. And Mjolnir returning Thor's old hammer. And Jane, this time, she wielded the hammer. And I love when the hammer separates and divides into small particles and kill those villains and aliens or whatever, and returns back to as a hammer. I thought it was a very, very cool weapon to see after not just not just seen as a regular hammer, but just separating small particles. That was very cool to see. And in this movie, Stormbreaker was acting weird, and we found out why Stormbreaker was acting weird. It turned out to have a dangerous big role in terms of Gore the God Butcher's plan. So that's it. And comedy level, this movie, it's pretty fun. it's not so hilarious. At times, it's kind of like very laughable. I love the new Asgard setting. Like, new Asgard appeared in Avengers Endgame. By that time, it was still like kind of building up to like the new Asgard for the Asgardians, and get to see them for the first time since become such a like a very great like a attraction place, like tourist destination. I thought it was very cool. And the main parts on this movie that I get into is like Gordy God Butcher. Christian Bell played the character. I thought he played the character so well. The villain, the makeup on Gordy God Butcher is so noticeably great. Like, seems like a freakish maniac. Like, seems like a zombie ish character, like a Frankenstein kind of with mixed with like undead zombie came from the underground, Barry from the cemetery, like black and white color is so fittingly well. And I love the color of the eye as well. It's almost like reminds me of the Sith eye from like all the Star Wars movie, like Anakin the Sith eye, like all this kind of stuff. So the cosmetic and makeup design on Gordy God Butcher, I thought was very terrific. And Jane coming back for the first time, Natalie Portman, essentially since Thor: The Dark World, and she being the mighty Thor. I thought she was cool to see. And Jane had an enduring illness in this movie that it was passed over genetically. So it felt sad to see her kind of suffer a little bit. Then her look as the mighty Thor, I thought it was very cool. She wasn't muscular at all, like not like a some bodybuilder type of look at all. I thought she was perfect look with the as all the costume as being the mighty Thor. She was very cool, like the long hair, similar to Thor. So she was cool to see as the mighty Thor and all the looks and everything. Then the biggest takeaway from this movie was like Thor and Jane reunion. First time they reuniting, like 7-8 years or something. Like their breakup, it was revealed in Thor Ragnarok. It's like, oh, Thor said, oh, she didn't dump me, I dumped her. It's like now the backstory was revealed in this movie between the two, how they broke up, and they had a lot of catch up to do in terms of like sharing their stories, what happened prior to they reuniting, and their dynamics. It was certainly adjustment before reuniting, and after reuniting, they had to like kind of have their says and kind of like go through what they're about and their memories. And as the film goes on, their dynamics really return and really care for each other and have love for each other, still have feelings for each other. And this time, Jane joined the battle and fight against the Gordy God Butcher. They're cool to see, and it's very nice to see the two characters reuniting and have their like memories and nostalgia, and of course the new journey. I thought they're cool to see, and it was so nice to see them getting back. And there are a lot of good scenes, action sequences in the movie. By far my favorite scene was like Omnipotent City scene where Thor, Jane, Valkyrie, and Korg go onto this god city or whatever to plead their case and ask for their assistance in defeating Gordy God Butcher. Zeus on those gangs, he denies it. Then they're so like, okay, screw it. We're gonna crash the party. We're gonna steal that, thunderbolt, lightning, sword weapon or whatever. They go on like in a party crasher action sequences. I thought that was very cool. I thought that was by far the most entertaining, fun action sequences in the movie. By far my favorite. And when it gets to the Shadow Realm, like where the God Butcher was waiting and the gang went in there, is like the scene turned into black and white, like completely black and white. The only colors in that sequence is like the lightning, thunder from the hammer, or either it's Mjolnir or Stormbreaker, or the gold lightning thunder, the weapon they Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie had. That was about it. Everything was like black and white. That was cool, fitting scene to see. It's like it kind of fits the character, the villain, Gordy God Butcher, his makeup and his looks to the scene. Very perfect suited. and the ending sequences, the action sequences, very good. Then the ending, it got me emotionally. It flowed somewhat of a mild tears on my eyes. Seeing that was like it's very emotional, and the ending was like kind of like, oh, this is another new embark on a new journey, and Thor finds out his like life as his true meaning as not just a hero but also as a person as well. So that's great to see. And there were two WTF post credit scenes at the end of the film. One was like so obvious, like, oh, because this happened in the middle of the scene, okay, this thing's gonna happen. Then the second one was like, hold on a second, it's that. It was almost like an open up a new Pandora's box. Like, the Marvel movie always sets up for like a new adventure or like a new story to like reveal in the near future. That was the case in my hypothesis, judging from watching all those post credit scenes. So overall, I gave this movie 3.5 star. This will not surpass Thor Ragnarok by far. It will not. It doesn't surpass Thor Ragnarok. But as its own individual right, this is a good, entertaining action Marvel movie to enjoy. Like good Guns N' Roses music throughout. That it's very energetic, fun, great vibes to it. It's not like an all-time Marvel movie, not necessarily, but it's its own like individual movie. It's a blast altogether. It's fun, loving, thunderous, action, entertaining Marvel movie to enjoy. So there you have it. That's my review on Thor Love and Thunder. What do you think about it? Leave your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video and see you in the next one.